So I'm in Fort Lauderdale today, running from Hurricane Milton. The hurricane is over. There's just quite a bit of wind still, and I'm gonna stay again tonight and take a relaxing drive back home. But thought I better get some work done while I'm here. Part 4 of this series, and some of these queens today have tie-ins with some of the queens in the previous segments of this series. But none of them married their relatives, wore crowns, or had people beheaded. These are all women who had phenomenal success in their chosen fields, and they can only serve as an example of how to be the queen. So here we go. The first one is Florence Nightengale Graham. Her parents named her after Florence Nightingale, of course, and she was the daughter of poor farmers. And her mother passed away when she was 6 years old, and she went to nursing school, but then she dropped out because she felt like she had healing hands, and she wanted to concoct lotions and things for women to help their skin and be more beautiful and all of that. Her father said that was a crazy idea, and he said, "You're an ass, go to grass," whatever that meant back then. So she was nearly 30 years old when she opened her own salon and changed her name to Elizabeth Arden. She didn't save the world, but she made a lot of impact. And here's a cute thing. This is a tie-in to some of the other women who fought for our right to vote over 100 years ago. There were a lot of women who did that, and they would have marches and, carry signs and insist that we be allowed to vote. And so she agreed to be in one of the marches, and they decided, I don't know whose idea it was, but they decided we're all gonna wear red lipstick in solidarity so that they'd all have the same color of lipstick on, which is just fun. And Elizabeth Arden, also known as Florence Nightingale Graham, supplied the red lipstick for all the ladies who were marching on that particular march. So that was a fun thing. So that was Florence Nightingale Graham, later changed her name to Elizabeth Arden. Fun. Then we have Jane Addams. Oh my gosh, she did so much. She inherited quite a bit of money from, her relatives, and she had a very inspiring message. She bought a house and called it Hull House in Chicago, where she rallied volunteers to help fight poverty and improve lives. The area around where Hull House was a very poor area, and she saw people working hard and being treated like garbage. A lot of them were parents who didn't have daycare for their children when they went to work, and so she started a nursery there, and then later a kindergarten to help the people in the area. And then, of course, she discovered that there were young children, working in the factories in the area. And she fought to get sweatshop reform so that people would stop making these children work. They were paying them so little. The parents even were being paid so little that they had to basically put their kids to work. Just terrible conditions that they lived under, and Jane Addams really helped those people a lot. And apparently she didn't care that she spent all her money on, helping other people. That was her life work. That's what she wanted to do. and it was important to her. Might not be important to everyone, but thank goodness for Jane Addams. She kind of was considered a troublemaker because, you know, she was arguing for the rights of other people and being persistent about it. Some people didn't like that. But she founded dozens of organizations and she wrote several books. But later, as time went on, she also built like a gymnasium and a cafeteria and things for people in the community. She could have just sat around and spent her millions that she inherited, and she did spend that money, but she spent it to help other people. So, in 1931, Jane Addams became the first woman to receive a Nobel Peace Prize. So that's wonderful that she did that. She was the first woman ever to win the Nobel Peace Prize. Now remember in segment 2 or 3, we had someone who, I know who it was. It was Marie Curie was the first one to win a Nobel Prize, but she won it in science or some form of science. But Jane Addams was the first woman to ever receive the Nobel Peace Prize, and that wasn't until 1931. Okay, then we have Miss Controversy, Margaret Sanger. She might have been a troublemaker or considered a troublemaker too. She was married with 3 children, and she was a nurse. And while being a nurse, she saw women suffering, and she vowed to do something about it. She said, "A woman's body belongs to herself alone. It does not belong to the United States of America or any other government on the face of the earth. It's not someone else's business." So she was arrested 8 times for distributing contraceptive advice or birth control advice. 8 times she went to jail, and she didn't give up. She kept going. And then in 1921, she founded an organization that is now known throughout the world as Planned Parenthood. Please excuse my hairdo. We're having a bad hair day. I don't know what's happening with it. Anyway, then we have, that was pretty heavy stuff there. That was very heavy stuff. But then here we have another lady, another queen who was ruling her universe, Emily Greene Balch. Last name is spelled B-A-L-C-H. She was awarded a Nobel Peace Prize in 1946. She advocated years earlier for the women's right to vote and also advocated for labor rights. You know, some people were treated very badly and not paid a living wage. She was also a peace activist, and she was a professor at Wellesley College. She taught sociology and economics. She founded the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom. And guess what? She was later awarded a Nobel Peace Prize. So there you go. We have 4 really awesome ladies who were queens in their own right. Florence Nightengale Graham, Jane Addams, Margaret Sanger, and Emily Greene Balch. Nobody married their relatives, nobody wore crowns, and nobody yet beheaded. So I wonder which one of these ladies inspires you to do the thing that you've always wanted to do. Must be somebody. Leave me a comment. Tell tell me which one of them inspires you the most and what you're gonna do in the future. That's my whole idea behind this, is finding people to inspire you, to give you some input, some ideas about what you would like to do. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. This is a quick one because I talked a little faster. So thanks for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please subscribe. I think we have 6 subscribers. Anyway, the most important thing though is don't forget to love yourself. Let me cut that. Let me go back. So the most important thing though is don't forget to love yourself. Thanks for watching. Love ya.